Hello, good evening and welcome to the Friday edition of News 360 live from our studio here at Adesanwe Kanda, Accra. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I am Ayisha. Yakubu coming up in the bulletin this evening.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint,
Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal,
EcoBank.
Attorney General Dominic Ayine confirms Ghana lost over 584 million cedis to criminal enterprise as he announces charges will be filed against 12 persons involved in the scandal.
Also coming up, International Monetary Fund, the IMF, endorses Ghana's energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy.
Minister of Health Kwabena Mintakando has assured the public of the ministry's commitment to improving welfare of healthcare professionals as members of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association suspend their strike.
Later in business, fuel prices projected to rise over 6% in July as global oil surge and Middle East tensions threaten Ghana's temporary relief.
And in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump urges Iran to make a deal on its nuclear program, warning of even more brutal Israeli attacks. Well, the details of these and many more stories, including sports and entertainment, coming up over the next 1 hour. Stay with us for the details.
Let's go straight into it. And the Attorney General of the Republic and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has revealed that Ghana lost over 548 million Ghana cedis through a criminal enterprise operating within the National Service Authority. During a media briefing in Accra, Dr. Ayine confirmed that investigations have concluded and charges will be filed against 12 suspects involved in the scandal.
Our position is clear that these persons are reasonably suspected to have committed crimes and shall be charged accordingly with the following crimes: stealing, contrary to Section 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29; conspiracy to steal, contrary to Sections 23(1) and 124(1) of the Criminal and Other Offences Act; willfully causing financial loss to the state, contrary to Section 179A(3)(a) of the Criminal and Other Offences Act; using public office for profit, contrary to Section 179C(a) of the Criminal and Other Offences Act; obtaining public property by false statements, contrary to Section 5 of the Public Property Protection Decree 1977, SMCD 140; money laundering, contrary to Section 1, subsection 2C of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044; and conspiracy to commit money laundering, contrary to Section 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1020. As part of the oral agenda, I have ordered that a comprehensive investigation of the assets of these persons be conducted. That investigation is ongoing, and we shall be pursuing the suspect to retrieve funds attributable to them and assets they have acquired using those funds.
Right, so it's been quite a topical conversation, and many of you who have been following have seen the amount in question, which is 548 million Ghana cedis. And it is not just 1 year, it's been through a number of years. So we'll take you through every year and how much was expended or stolen, which is one of the charges that the Attorney General has proffered against the individuals in question. So according to the Attorney General, out of the 548.3 million Ghana cedis that has been expended by suspicious individuals, it was between the period of 2018 and 2024. So between 2018 and 2019, that particular year, the amount that was spent was 25.8 million Ghana cedis. Then come to 2019-2020, just around the time COVID was hitting us, 21.6 million Ghana cedis. And if you look at the trajectory, the amount started rising. So in 2020-2021, the amount that was lost to the state was 55.6 million Ghana cedis. Then 2021-2022, 61.3 million Ghana cedis. This is the one that shocked many. So the 2022-2023 period saw the biggest amount of money that was siphoned out of the state, or the state was fleeced from. The amount in 2022 to 2023 was 350.9 million Ghana cedis, and 2023 to 2024, which is just last year, 32.8 million Ghana cedis. So that is what the Attorney General has put out, being the amount of money that was spent or quote-unquote stolen by some individuals who had put a very intelligent scheme in place to siphon the state's money through the National Service Ghost Name Scheme. So we are going to be looking at the specific charges that the Attorney General is slapping on these individuals. So there you have it on your screen. It says that they're going to be charged with stealing, which is contrary to Section 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. And so that same act, you look down, and I'll take you through the rest. So beyond stealing, we also have conspiracy to steal, which is another charge the Attorney General is filing against these individuals. Again, we have willfully causing financial loss to the state, and then that is contrary to Section 179A3A of the Criminal Offences Act 1960. We have using public office for profit. Using public office for profit. Contrary to Section 179CA of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. And then obtaining public property by false statements. So again, the Attorney General says that this charge is filed against them and is using the Constitution provision of Section 5, contrary to Section 5 of the Public Property Protection Act 1977. And the key one many of you must have heard already, money laundering. Money laundering, contrary to Section 12C of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044. The fifth and final charge I beg your pardon. The fifth and final charge that we know about now is conspiracy to commit money laundering, contrary to Section 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044. So the key persons involved, will let you know who they are shortly. However, just by case of information, these are the specific charges that the Attorney General is saying he's filing at the courts against the persons who have been involved in the National Service Ghost Name scandal. And at the presser, a number of questions also came up, and the Attorney General, for instance, says he knows that, or has heard that, those who are going to be charged would find other ways to use the law to be difficult in prosecuting the case, and that he is prepared for them. So let's find out who are the individuals involved in this particular scandal. These are the men. You can see them on your screen. So we have Mustafa Yusuf, who is former executive director of the National Service Scheme. You would also recall that he was immediate past sports minister under the NPP government. So yes, that's him, Mustafa Yusuf. He's also a member of parliament. Then we have Asiedu-Dartey, who is the former director general of the National Service Scheme. This particular lady is actually trending #1, by now probably #2 on Twitter. Her name is Gifty Owari Mensah. She is the former deputy executive director of the National Service Scheme and has also been mentioned by the Attorney General as one of the individuals who played a key role in the entire scam of the scheme, the National Service Scheme. Kweku Ohenijan, former Deputy Executive Director in charge of operations at the National Service Secretariat or Scheme. Then there is Abraham Bismarck-Gazy. He was head of deployment, and you know clearly that National Service requires students who've graduated to be deployed across the country, and it meant that this particular man, Abraham Bismarck-Gazy, was very powerful in terms of who goes where. So the AG says he played a role in that. Eric Nyako, former head of accounts, and clearly if issues of money are being talked about, tells you that the persons in charge of accounts will definitely have played a role. Albert Oting Owusu, former internal auditor. Kweku Dechi Ejay, an accounts officer, and then there is Idrisu Ibn Abubakar, who is former head of accounts. There is also Stephen Kwabna Jemfi, Koforidua Municipal Director, Prince Agbofa Ewuku, a district director, and then Jacob Yorson, who is Management Information Systems Administrator, Northern Regional Office. Finally, we have, so it makes up the total number of individuals being prosecuted. There are 12 in all. Jacob Yorson, Prince Agbofa Ewuku, Stephen Kwabena Jemfi, then Idrisu Ibn Abubakar, Kweku Denchi Ejay, Albert Oting Owusu, Kweku Ohene Jan, Abraham Bismarck-Gazy, Eric Nyako, and then these are the top 3 individuals on the list of the Attorney General's individuals he's prosecuting: Mustafa Yusuf, Osaya Sibe Entry, and then Gifty Owari Mensah. So you've been following this conversation. We've seen many of you talking about it. Do let us know in the comment section what you make of the Attorney General's decision to even tell the public about how far they've gone with their investigations and the fact that in the coming days they will be dragging these individuals to court. Adam Sananu is the co-chair for Citizens Movement Against Corruption and an anti-corruption campaigner. He's joined us for a quick chat regarding this subject. Mr. Sananu, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So my first question would be, I'm not sure you're entirely surprised, considering the fact that in the last few months we had heard that such a scheme had happened, ghost names over the years, but for this particular one, specific names have been mentioned and prosecution is about to take place. 548 million Ghana cedi lost. How does this come to you?
Well, first of all, I'm happy to know that the Attorney General and his team are actively following up on all these issues, and that the oral mechanism was not just another flash in the pan. It's good to know that there is serious action being taken, and these issues hopefully will see the light of day. Money retrieved will be better for it. But it was still shocking, the extent of the criminal collaboration and complicity. I just, for such high-ranking officials to think that they would never be caught, the expectation that this could just, go on without at some point being caught and facing the rigors of the law, is what surprises me the most. And it just tells you that the level of impunity had reached a certain height that I'm not quite sure any of us would really have anticipated. And so the nature of the individuals involved and the kind of intentional planning and execution is not something that I would say I was expecting under these circumstances.
What does that also say about the structures we have in place and the fact that for years on end we've heard about ghost names when it comes to National Service Scheme, but maybe this time around we have some tangibles that the Attorney General is taking to court? But on the whole, how come we do not have the right checks and balances in place when it comes to our National Service Scheme?
And that's probably the most troubling question we need to reflect on. It's all good to go after the resources, get as much of it back. It's all good to sanction the persons involved, say that it serves as a precedent, it serves as a deterrent. But it is much more important that we reflect on the systemic weaknesses that have allowed this to happen. Because clearly, along the value chain, there ought to have been these checks and balances that, should have made this impossible. Clearly, obviously, the level of complicity to the highest point of the organization is what facilitated this. But then you ask yourself, there was supposed to be external audits, and the independent external audit is supposed to be the last resort, point at which the checks, the investigation, the auditing, hopefully randomly sampling cross-checking and validating some of these names, should have thrown up some of the issues that have now come out into the public domain. So we need to ask ourselves, are the systems strong enough? Assuming this happens again, or better still, we cannot but assume that this may be happening in other sectors even as we speak. And therefore, what actions do we need to take now to ensure that these other areas where persons may be, working together in criminal cartels to deprive us of resources that we need, can also be exposed and these monies brought back to the coffers of the state?
Well, Mr. Senanu, early days yet, but thank you for talking to us. Certainly, in the coming days, we'll get to hear better and further particulars about how all of this proceeds. Adam Senanu is an anti-corruption campaigner and co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Well, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, was specific when he mentioned the name of Madam Gifty Owari and what exactly she do, or the role she played in the entire scheme of things. Let's listen to the Attorney General.
He was the Chief Executive, the Director General of the National Service Authority. Some directors, such as Gifty Owari Mensah, created and executed a meticulously detailed plan using NSP, National Service Personnel Allowances, as security to obtain a loan of 30,698,218 cedis, 69 pesos, from the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, at an interest rate of 23%. She achieved these results by using other people's information to register a company called Blocks of Life Consult without their knowledge or permission.
Let's move on to another topical issue. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has suspended its nationwide strike. Members are expected to resume work on Saturday, June 14.
Cecilia, how many months pregnant? Oh, we'll find out, man. Oh, Cecilia, I didn't know. Coffee. But we could run on the next one and cash and show.
The devastating impact of the nurses' strike. Patients were left frustrated and stranded across Ghana's public hospitals. Despite several rounds of meetings between the Ministry of Health, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and the leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, no immediate resolution was reached. The association escalated its strike on Monday, June 9, by withdrawing all services, further exacerbating the plight of patients. Other associations whose members did not join the strike were unable to manage the pressure, as the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, whose membership makes up the majority of nurses, continued the industrial strike. But after almost 2 weeks on strike, the leadership of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association called a truce. President of the association, Perpetual Ofori-Ampofo, flanked by her General Secretary, Dr. David Tinkran-Chum, and others, made this announcement.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association's industrial action, initiated on 2nd June 2025, is hereby suspended, pending the outcome of the follow-up meeting scheduled for 26 June 2025.
She outlined their next line of action following a meeting with members of Parliament's Health Committee on Thursday, June 12.
The engagement held with the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health and other interested parties on Thursday, 12 June 2025, was very fruitful and has paved the way for an amicable resolution of the impasse.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Kwabena Mintah-Kando, has assured the public of the ministry's commitment to improving working conditions and the welfare of healthcare professionals.
We have been engaging them all this while. Yesterday, we were in meeting with them for more than 4 hours. So we are a mother, ministry. We would love to give them everything they want. Which parent wouldn't want to give his or her children, whatever you want, But, we have lives to protect, we have a country to govern, we have an economy to protect, and we have our people to also live good life. And so we will marry all these factors, sit down with them, open our arms, have brutally frank discussions, arrive at mutually acceptable outcomes, then we'll try to see how we can implement them. So we are so excited that they've called off the strike, and we thank them so very much.
And now, the International Monetary Fund has endorsed Ghana's energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy. Speaking at a press briefing, Director of the IMF's Communication Department, Julie Kozak, also revealed that the cedi's sharp appreciation against the US dollar could lead to a revision of some of the fund's program targets with Ghana.
Stepping back to where we are on Ghana, on April 15th, the IMF staff and the Ghanaian authorities reached staff-level agreement on the fourth review of Ghana's extended credit facility. Upon approval by our executive board, Ghana would be scheduled to receive about $370 million US, bringing total support under the ECF to $2.4 billion since May of 2023. We anticipate bringing review to our board in early July, so in just a few weeks. What I can add about on the question about the cedi's sharp appreciation is that, of course, as we look at a program, we look at all of these developments, including, of course, developments in the exchange rate. And so future program reviews will provide an opportunity for the team to carefully assess all of the evolving macroeconomic and financial conditions, including exchange rate movements, and to ensure that the program targets and objectives remain appropriate and achievable. And on the fuel levy, what I can say is that this is a new measure that will help generate additional resources to tackle the challenges in Ghana's energy sector, and it's also going to bolster Ghana's ability to deliver on the fiscal objectives under the program.
Let's go on to some other stories now. And President John Dramani Mahama has announced a raft of infrastructure projects that will see the development of Dagbon after a long-standing protracted chieftaincy conflict. Over 5,000 youth from the region, from the northern region, are also earmarked to be trained in vocational skills. At the visit of the overlord of Dagbon to the seat of government, the President, John Mahama, has also expressed government's willingness to develop Dagbon after the peaceful resolution of the chieftaincy crisis.
A historic visit of the Ndayana Abukari Muhammad II, a friend and a father to the first family. The relationship between the two dates over 20 years and became more paramount as President Mahama made efforts to solve the Dagbon crisis. The visit of the Ndayana was to foster a greater relationship between Dagbon and the government as it had lacked development over the years. Spokesperson of the overlord, Dr. Jacob Mahama, expressed the readiness of the Gbewa Palace in supporting government in the development drive of Dagbon.
Your dedication to the welfare of Ghanaians is evident in policies and initiatives that have been rolled out, and I have no doubt that your leadership will bring about transformative change that will benefit our nation for generations to come. The drastic drop in the dollar exchange rate from 17 cedis to 11 cedis in less than 6 months is a remarkable achievement that speaks volumes about your administrative commitment to prudent economic management.
With a myriad of challenges bedeviling the northern region, the president is determined to leave a legacy in the region.
Over 5,000 youths from the northern region are expected to be trained in employable skills such as carpentry, welding, tailoring, shea butter processing, and agribusiness. These efforts align with our broader vision of the 24-hour economy strategy, which will provide new job opportunities and extended business hours across agro-processing, logistics, and community services. I look forward to launching a pilot 24-hour economic zone in the northern region. The northern region cannot remain a symbol of poverty while being a source of national pride.
Water scarcity has been a major challenge in northern Ghana despite successive government interventions. The president says his administration will work assiduously to bring a better livelihood to the people.
The northern region cannot remain a symbol of poverty while being a source of national pride. To this end, the Community Infrastructure Development Fund, launched in 2025, will finance water and sanitation projects in 50 underserved communities in Dagbon. These include Patinga, Lungni, Nakwanduri, while small town water systems are planned for Wulensi and Bimbila. The Yendi water supply system will also be executed.
The President has also directed the Ghana Armed Forces to provide armed escorts and protection for vehicles operating within the Bawku area. According to him, the directive is aimed at curbing the ongoing security crisis in Bawku, where civilians have been targeted and killed in recent incidents. Speaking during his thank you tour of the Northeast region, he stressed the need for enhanced military presence to ensure the safety of residents as processes are ongoing to restore calm in the area.
Targeted national interventions, including logistical support for our security services, greater investment in community-based early warning systems, and collaboration with the National Peace Council to preempt and manage conflict situations. Under the NDC's 2024 manifesto and the 2025 budget, we are strengthening our national peace infrastructure, including deploying peace education curricula in our schools and empowering our chiefs with conflict mediating tools. Peace is not negotiable. It is the foundation upon which all developments rest. I was last week with His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II, and he briefed me on the progress being made to achieve a lasting peace in Bawku. I want to thank my father, the Nairi, for the important roadmap to peace that he presented for consideration by the Otumfuo. I'm sure the traditional solutions we are seeking to the Bawku crisis will offer us the opportunity for a sustainable peace very soon. Meanwhile, as Commander-in-Chief, I have instructed the Armed Forces to provide armed escort and protection to all vehicles traveling within the Bawku area, along the Bawku Pulmakum-Bolgatanga corridor, and also along the Walwali-Bolgatanga corridor.
Now, Coca-Cola Ghana has relaunched its iconic Share a Coke campaign, bringing fresh wave of excitement to the beverage market. The campaign, which originally debuted in 2011, encourages people to share a Coke with friends and family and loved ones by featuring popular names on bottles and cans.
The Share a Coke campaign invites consumers to connect with friends and family by seeking out bottles adorned with their names. The campaign reinforces the brand's commitment to celebrating community and connection, ensuring that every sip brings people closer together. Managing Director, Equatorial Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Felix Gomez, addressed the media.
At its heart, Share a Coke is simple. It's your favorite Coca-Cola, but with a personal twist. We have replaced our iconic logo with the names, nicknames, and titles of people, just like you. Why? Because we believe that behind every name is a story, a smile, a memory worth sharing.
Senior Manager, Frontline Marketing Ghana and Equatorial Africa, Derek Odeshi Bosman, emphasized that this is a part of the company's policy of spreading love.
The whole campaign is about sharing personalized memories and identifying that one friend or that one person in your life that is very impactful to you. And the better way to say this is just saying, buying a Coke with a person's name on it to say, I want to personally share a Coke with this particular person. We are a brand that celebrates openness and celebrating happiness at each and every stage of life. So whether you're getting married, whether you're meeting your friend, whether you're going to the beach, Coca-Cola is that one product that fits in everywhere. So what can customers expect? They can expect nothing but the best.
The Share a Coke campaign is more than just a marketing strategy. It's about creating moments and memories.
Africa will officially launch the 2025 Share a Coke campaign.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We have business, sports, and entertainment all coming up.
Good evening and welcome to the business segment on News 360. I am Minu Aful. In our first story, fuel prices in Ghana are expected to rise again from July, ending the brief relief consumers may enjoy this June. The Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy is warning that a surge of over 6% could hit the pumps due to rising global oil prices and mounting geopolitical tensions in the Middle East.
Fuel consumers may have a brief moment of relief in mid-June, but the outlook heading into July appears far less promising. The Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, CEMSI, is projecting a rise of more than 6% in diesel prices during the first pricing window of July 2025.
The city is likely going to experience a depreciation beginning in July, and when that happens, amidst global tensions in the Middle East, is also likely going to surge. Price of these commodities on the international market, it means that price of petroleum products locally are expected to surge beginning the 1st of July. If the conflict continues, what it means is that in the second window of July, which is 16th of July, prices are expected to surge further.
CEMSI also took aim at government strategies that rely on short-term global price dips or a stronger cedi to justify consumer levies. According to the executive director of CEMSI, such an approach may backfire by August if both global prices and the exchange rate turn unfavorable.
What we are likely going to observe is that by August, prices may be exceeding 14 Ghana cedis per litre, and that goes to derail government's argument that they are introducing 1 Ghana cedi because of the windfall that the petroleum user is getting.
Benjamin Nsia is urging a more sustainable fuel pricing policy that considers long-term market volatility and local economic vulnerabilities.
Well, in more news tonight, the Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opare Addo, has reiterated government's commitment to equipping young people with relevant skills and opportunities for sustainable employment. He highlighted the importance of improving technical education and ensuring young people are equipped with skills aligned with the current market demands.
The Inspire project seeks to support job creation by enhancing the capacity of Ghanaian SMEs and strengthening vocational training. At the launch, Sector Minister George Opare Addo encouraged young people to take advantage of such initiatives to build their skill sets.
As a government, we believe strongly that our old ways of educating our young people must be looked at again. And so government, through the National Apprenticeship Program, have decided that as much as we will focus on our traditional education systems, we also want to give young people other opportunities to explore.
Country Manager for E4Impact, Xavier Agotimevo, made a case for SMEs to collaborate with larger corporations, potentially enabling business growth and innovation.
Training the entrepreneur alone is not enough. We need to be able to mobilize the resources that they need to be able to move forward. Now, we are doing this through a number of engagements.
As part of the project, an Italian Innovation Center is expected to be established at the University of Professional Studies, Accra.
And now Cantonment is set to welcome a new residential development suited for modern urban living, Alo Cantonment. The project is being developed by Devtraco Plus, Ghana's leading luxury real estate developer. Tailored for its impressive portfolio of premium properties, Devtraco Plus is known for delivering high rental yield investments to both local and international property investors.
Alo Cantonment, a modern, hassle-free way to invest in Accra's luxury real estate. Developed by Devtraco Plus, Ghana's trusted name in premium properties, Alo Cantonment offers high rental returns in one of the city's most sought-after locations. This marks Devtraco's 11th development project, featuring an 18-floor apartment complex with an extensive collection of world-class amenities, including a rooftop infinity pool, a serene zen garden, a private paddle court, among other exciting features. Group CEO of Devtraco Plus, Francis Okai Oko, described the project as a definition of bold luxury and refined living.
It's a bold and a refined expression of modern living. strategically located in Cantonment, Accra's most sought-after enclave. It offers an exclusive mix of studios, 1- and 2-bedroom residences, and statement penthouses, all crafted with contemporary design, premium finishes, and layouts that maximize comfort, light, and function. Arlo is Deftraco's thoughtful response to the evolving demands of Accra's luxury real estate market.
He also emphasized that the development offers easy accessibility for every individual.
So the Arlo's location is one of the projects that is easily sought after in terms of location. The Arlo is located in the heart of the Central Business District, to be precise, in Cantonment. It's a project that is within proximity to embassies, to eateries.
Whether you're looking for a smart investment or a stylish home, Arlo Cantonment delivers quality, convenience, and long-term value. Don't just own, earn.
Let's now look at the city's performance against other major trading currencies and how some of our key commodities are also faring on the global market. And that's it for Business Tonight on News 360. I am Menu. Afo, stay with us. Sports News is up next.
Time now for sports, and Bailishan joins us in studio. It's going to be a very interesting weekend ahead, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because the MTN Cup final will be happening, and of course we have Asante Kotoko versus Golden Cake. Kotoko have already won it 9 times, but Golden Cake will be entering for the very first time.
Yeah, hopefully they shock Kotoko.
Oh yeah,
hopefully. Yeah. And then we have the Club World Cup also starting over the weekend.
Yep, it will be starting over the weekend. Unfortunately, there's no Ghanaian club in there, but there will be a lot of action. Hopefully.
Okay, let's see.
Let's begin from the MTN FA Cup, where Asante Kotoko, 9-time FA Cup winners, take on Division 1 side Golden Cake in the final. Now, Kotoko, after missing out on the Premier League title, are determined to claim their 10th FA Cup trophy and secure a place in the CAF Confederation Cup. Now, Asante Kotoko coach Karim Zito has been speaking exclusively to 3 Sports ahead of the game.
I won the one with Dunasi. What I said was, I'm very happy I played and won the cup with Asante Kotoko as a player. And now today, here I am as a coach. I've also won it with Dunasi. And this one, it will be like I played the club and won, and then coach the club and won. So this is the difference. The difference was here I played the club itself, but I didn't play Dreams FC. But I only coached Dreams FC. But here I played, and then at the end of the day, I also won the cup. And then when I played the team, I won the FA. And then now as a coach, I was just like my father, Kusandi. He played Kotoko, won the African Cup. And then he coached Kotoko and then won the African Cup. So that is the similarities.
Moving on, Kowa Naso thumped defending champions DYs 3-1 to emerge victors of the 2nd edition of the Thomas Partey Cup at the Tuba AstroTurf on Friday. The Green Boys showcased skill and grit to outclass all 12 participating teams. My colleague Andrew Sefa Banfo was there and put together this report.
It was joy for Kowa Naso at the Tuba AstroTurf on the final day of the 2025 Thomas Partey Cup. The boys in green eased their way to a 3-1 victory over defending champions DYs, a result that left players and the manager of DYs sombering within.
We've done well. It's not easy to defend the title. It's not easy. You know, before Kowa Naso's game, we played against Sporting, and it wasn't an easy game. But unfortunately, when we came, we were up, but I'll say it's a game. Anything can happen. So what have happened, we just give glory to God.
I'm very sad. We prepared well for this tournament. Unfortunately, what is income? So we hope for a better luck next time.
Obviously, it's not a good feeling, you know, and then our fans are a bit disappointed. But I think it was a good game, a game of 2 halves. We dominated the first half and then they came back stronger in the second half and got a victory. So yeah, it was a good one.
Meanwhile, players of Kowa Naso were jubilant after emerging victors.
I'm so happy about it. There's a lot of scouts here. Maybe like we don't know how many players we will take. No. Yeah. So I'm happy about it.
It was a very good experience. Our team Kowa Naso, we dedicated ourselves, played well to reach this level. So we are really happy. And we thank God and we thank all our technical teams and our management and our coaches.
I feel better. Yeah. We are very happy with the trophy, yes. It was tough, but we passed through. It was tough because for the second half, the challenge, we all want to win the game and we put our best and try it. So, and the results come out.
The enthralling final brought an end to a fun-filled 4-day event, succinctly captured by Samuel Ziga, the lead organizer of the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. It was brilliant. I mean, right from the 10th all throughout to today, the 13th, it's been massive. I'd say everything Thomas Partey is bigger and better, and I'm super delighted with what I saw here throughout Tuesday till today. All the teams putting in a shift, but this tournament has come to stay. And Thomas always is passionate about Ghana and will always give back to society where it all started.
A high degree of competitiveness and promise was showcased by the young talent in the 2nd edition of the Thomas Partey Cup, setting the precedent for the next edition.
That's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bailishan. There's more on the bulletin after this break.
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil. Powered by 3 Entertainment.
In entertainment news this evening, Musiga President Bessa Simons has encouraged artists to consider engaging in basking, the practice of performing music in public places as they wait for their big break. To him, the move provides a unique avenue for musicians to share their crafts with a wider audience, gain exposure, and earn income.
There's one thing we don't have here about basking. Okay. Basking, you can just take your djembe and sit around a vantage point where you know more visitors pass, and then just play, put your hat there, and you will make money for the day. You know, if you go to other countries, you see that. I am calling on all our members who are great performers to show the world what they have. You don't know who will be watching.
The Musiga president also charged artists to incorporate cultural elements into their music.
Whatever it is, we are in the fusion era. Yeah. Whatever music you do, you have to bring yourself into it. You have to bring your culture into it. And one good thing about Ghanaian musicians is that our music and culture is embedded in us, whether you like it. I mean, people from Volta region, whether they live in Axim or anywhere, they can still dance Agbaja. Ashanti people can still dance Adwa. Fantis can dance Apatampe. So it's all in us. And so we are saying you can do this to attract more tourists to the country.
In some more entertainment news this evening, Ghanaian high life legend Eja has expressed his deep admiration for dancehall star Charles Nyama Mensah, also known as Shatta Wale, and revealed his wish to perform with him before passing on. In a heartwarming conversation, the 94-year-old music legend born Kwabna Boamponsem shared his long-held desire to collaborate with Shatta Wale. Quote, "I want to do one show before I die. I'm 94. It is my wish to always see you in person. So I'm happy I've had the opportunity to talk to you," unquote. He noted. Moved by the call, Shatta Wale has expressed his appreciation and assured the legendary musician that he would visit him soon.
Time now for international news.
Israel's military says it continues to strike Iranian military targets after it carried out waves of strikes on Iran overnight. Israel's ambassador to the UN says the strikes were necessary action after the Iranian threat took a dramatic turn. Iran vows destructive consequences. The Israeli Defense Forces IDF says it carried out strike on nuclear sites and says Revolutionary Guard Chief Hussein Salami and other commanders have been killed. Iran says 6 scientists have been killed, with state TV reporting that civilians, including children, are among the dead. U.S. President Donald Trump has meanwhile urged Iran to make a deal on its nuclear program, warning of even more brutal Israeli attacks. Iran accused the U.S. of supporting Israel's strikes, which the U.S. denied. A Kenyan police officer has appeared in court after being arrested in connection with the killing of a young blogger in police custody. Alberto Ojwang's death sparked protests in the capital, Nairobi, after doctors refuted a police claim that he had died from self-infliction injuries caused by hitting his head on a cell wall. Instead, they concluded that it was likely the result of an assault. At least 23 people, including 17 police officers, have been questioned and 5 others removed from active duty while an independent investigation takes place after his initial court appearance.
And that's it for our package this evening. Thank you so much for watching. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I'm Ayisha Yakubu. Have a lovely weekend and stay tuned to TV3.